basic editing commands in AutoCAD. In this tutorial, you will learn erase command, trim and extend commands, offset command, fillet and chamfer commands. Editing commands are basically used to modify existing objects. You can see a collection of most frequently used editing commands in the Modify panel. When you click on this arrow, you can access more editing commands. I'll draw a line using the line command, and I'll draw a circle using the center radius option of circle command. When you click on the erase command, it'll ask you to select the objects. We can make use of any of the standard object selection methods discussed in the previous videos to select objects. So I'll select these two objects using a crossing window. The appearance of these two objects got changed. When you give an enter, the objects will get erased. So erase command is basically used to erase or delete entire objects. Next, I'll talk about trim and extend commands. I'll draw a line with the ortho mode on. I'll copy this line number of times. So I'll click on the copy command and I'll select this line. I'll choose this point as the base point by picking. Then I'll choose number of second points. Now I have created multiple copies. Next, I'll draw an arc using 3-point method. So I'll click on arc, 3-point, then 1, 2 and 3, and I've picked 3 points. Next, I want to remove portions of lines which are extended beyond this arc. For that, we can make use of the trim command. We will get trim in the modify panel, so I'll click on trim. Now it is asking you to select the cutting edges. You can see select cutting edge option. Cutting edge is nothing but an edge that can be used as a cutter. In fact, if you can use this arc as a cutting edge or as a cutter, you will be able to easily remove the portion of lines which are extended beyond this arc. So I'll select this arc as the cutting edge. Once you select the cutting edge, we can just give an enter. Then it will ask you to select the object to trim. You can choose those objects either by picking individually like this. But if you have too many objects, you can make use of crossing window or fence option given here. I'll use a crossing window to select all these objects in one go. The trim command always needs a cutting edge or an object that can be used as a cutter. I'll undo this and I'll show you another method to perform trim. When you're asked to select the cutting edges, you don't have to select the cutting edges, but instead you can make use of the select all option. So when you give an enter, this particular option will get executed, which means that all the objects including the actual cutting edge will be treated as a cutting edge. Now you can select the object to trim. Hence you can save one step. Now I'm going to move this cutting edge rightward. So I'll click on the move command and I'll select this object. I'll choose this as a base point and I'll move it rightward to define a second point. I'll activate the ortho mode and make a pick here. In the trim command, there is another option which will let you perform extension. I'll give trim command. When I'm asked to select the cutting edges, I'll give an enter and hold down the shift key when you take the cursor over here. Then you will see a preview of the extension of that line. You can use any of the standard object selection methods to perform extension. Hence, when you hold down the shift key when you select objects, trim command can be used to perform extension. Alternatively, you can use extend command to get the same result. Since the extend option is already a part of trim command, you better stick to that method. Next, we will see the offset command. Offset command in AutoCAD is used to create parallel objects. I'll draw a line from this point. I'll turn the ortho off to this point. I'll draw an arc using 3-point method, 1, 2 and 3. I'll also draw a circle using center radius method. I'll give offset command. When you are asked to give the offset distance, I'll give a value, say 120. It will ask you to select the object to offset and the side to offset. When you are asked to specify a point on the desired side, you can just pick a point. Again, you are back to select object to offset prompt. Again, I have selected the same object. Now it will ask you to select a point on the desired side. I'll pick a point here. This time I'm going to select this as the object to offset and this as a side. Then object to offset and side to offset. Hence, select object to offset and side to offset will be a recurring prompt. But if you want to give a different offset distance, you have to exit the offset command by giving an enter. Then I'll give one more enter to repeat the offset command. When you enter offset command, it will ask you for an offset distance. Then I'll give a different value, let it be 200. Then it will ask you to select the object to offset and side to offset. Object to offset and the side to offset. Likewise, whenever you want to change the offset distance, you have to enter the offset command and give a new value. When the dynamic input is on, you can provide this distance interactively. I'll activate the dynamic input. This time I'll give offset command by typing the letter O at the command prompt. Present offset distance is 200. I'll give an enter. I'll select this object to offset. When I take the cursor onto the desired side, the software will display the distance. Here, if I want, I can give a different value. I'll give 300 instead. Give an enter and you can see that you have interactively changed the distance. Now I'll give an enter to go out of the offset command. Now let's see options in this command. In offset we have options like erase, layer, through, etc. We will see more about layers later on an exclusive tutorial. Erase option will let you erase the original object. When you click on erase, it will ask you whether you want to erase the source object. I'll give yes. I'll retain the present offset distance by giving an enter. Select object to offset, and when you pick a point on the desired side, the original object will get erased. Through option will let